many car dealers are we currently working with, say, on a monthly basis that are doing one of our events?
I would say we're working with around 120, maybe 100 to 120.
100 to 120. We have a lot of people who run every single week. So, but we're doing about 150 to 160 events per week.
Correct.
And what's the average car dealer spend on a Facebook event?
We spend around $2,500.
That's on the ad spend, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the ad spend. And it's so the dealer pays $69.95 to $79.95 based on the package they get, usually $79.95. Closers are $1,000 a day. And the only problem that I have with that is dealers should be doing it every single week. We have dealers, true or false, we have dealers in the country that are running this week only events 52 weeks out of the year with us.
Absolutely.
And compared to the other dealers, now Caleb and I, Caleb is our partner in South Carolina. We have a disagreement on this. I say, keep on pulling buckets of water out of the well until there's no water there. But those guys who are doing it every week compared to the other dealers who are doing it once a month or once every 2 months, how are their ad costs? How do they compare to each other?
It's just has nothing to do with it. We can run in the same market. We switch up the ad copy. People see it. When it will distribute to a certain number of people, and it's going to hit you with a certain number of times. So your frequency is how many times you've seen it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really affect the ad cost very much.
So now you're using terms like ad costs, and I understand that. We got a lot of people watching right now, and thousands of people are going to come back and watch this, when it's not live. A lot of people like to watch it when I can't tell they're watching it for whatever reason. But anyway, so to people who don't understand the terminology, what do you mean when you say lead cost? What does that mean?
So that is the cost that it takes to win that bid on Facebook. So when you have a certain budget, let's just say it's $1,000 for an ad, and other people in the area are also running ads, and you have the same potential customer, the same person that's going to click on that ad, in a split second, you either win or lose that bid. If we have more money in that ad set to spend, then we're going to win the bid. And that's exactly how you get the lead cost. It's about impressions. There's a formula Facebook uses that they won't exactly tell us, but we can figure it out. So number of times it's been seen and how long it takes for someone to click. And an interesting factoid is people ask me for high impressions. I'll get calls from dealers and sales guys saying, make sure I have a high impressions. And I'm like, are you sure? Because that really means you're going to have fewer leads, fewer actual results. Because if it takes 200,000 impressions to get a certain number of clicks, we can get that number of clicks on 100,000 impressions, and then we could spend a lot more money. But hey, if that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. So now that we're getting technical, we're getting in the weeds, but I'm a circle back to make sure everybody's understanding, because this is a money show. This is about how you can make money. And I've already told you need to be spending all of your ad budget on Facebook. I'd love to help you with that. You can reach out to us if you'd like us to do it for you. We are the experts in the country at ad spend, and Sarah is probably, no, without a doubt, Sarah's the smartest person I know when it comes to the actual ad budgets and ad performance. But here's what she's saying. So many dealers and general managers that are on Facebook about once a month, they think they're smart. So they say, well, I need 200,000 impressions. How many impressions are you getting me? And what she's saying is, if they get hung up on this word impression, we can give them 1 million impressions. True or false? We could give someone 1 million impressions in 1 week.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, impressions mean nothing, guys. If you're buying impressions, you're wasting your money. If you are, okay. Now here's the part that Sarah doesn't like for me to do, but I'm going to tell you how we do it. Okay. If you're running your ads based on how many impressions you get, you're doing it wrong. What we do is we maximize the lead cost, get the lead cost down low, and get as many appointments. We get as many leads as we can, and then we rely on our call center to actually turn those leads into appointments, because appointments solve everything. But here's what I'm telling you. Don't just get on there and blast everything and see how many impressions you get. It doesn't matter. And here's another thing. It's not even though we spent $5.5 million on Facebook ads in how many years?
A year and a half, 2 years.
In 2 years, we spent $5.5 million on Facebook ads. It's not about how much you can spend, even though I say you need to spend a lot. There's very, very many times when we can adjust those ads throughout the week and do with $1,200 what most people can't do with $3,000. Is that true?
100% true.
How is that true?
Oh, man. You know I don't like giving up secrets.
Got to do it.
Okay. So when you have a higher budget to spend, so let's say you have $5,000. If you throw that onto one ad or boosted post.
I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want to go that far with them.
Thank you. Oh, you're making me nervous. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. The point is this: if you get hung up on how many dollars you're spending and how many impressions you're getting, you're really missing the boat. There's things that we've learned a lot in the last 2 years. You learn a lot when you spend $5.5 million on Facebook.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely. And it just improves all the time. We learn new strategies and new ways of doing things that benefit them, getting them more results. And kind of back to your earlier question about people that run weekly or bi-weekly, and they have been for 2 years, they're not doing any worse than the other people. And their appointment ratios aren't worse. It's just you're getting them over and over again. And someone who wasn't ready to buy in February, maybe this morning they woke up and the transmission's gone from their van and they need a new vehicle right now, and they see our ad. So you keep getting people into the community to buy from that store.